From the 1 to 8 scale AMX13 to the bit larger 1 to 6 scale Centurion, all my RC tanks are powered by electric drills or screwdrivers. Why? Because it's a cheap way to attend a powerful electric motor, a planetary gearbox and also a battery. The drill I have used for most of my model is this, a meek 12-volt drill that was often on sale at my local hardware store. It consists of a 550 electric motor, a planetary gearbox and a 12-volt battery. I tried this setup for the first time in my 1 to 8 scale BT7, but I got it to work reliably in my AMX13. Since some of you have asked me to show more in detail how I connect the electric drills to the tank, here we go. First of all, the chuck needs to be removed. This is done by first removing the screw in the middle of the chuck. The screw has its threads the wrong way, so you unscrew it the same way as you normally would tighten it. With the screw gone, twist the chuck fast anti-clockwise. It should come off, but I have noticed that on more powerful drills with a thicker axle, this may be very hard. In this example, I put the drill in a vise, and by running the drill counterclockwise, the chuck came off. Note the threaded axle. It makes it possible to attach a new axle on the drill. You also need something to control the motor speed with. I use the Hobbywing ATA Quick-Run electronic speed controllers. They are easy to set up and work great. They might be a bit overkill for some of my models, but that's probably not a bad thing. They rarely get hot even after a day of use at a course. To control the tank, I use an old Turnigy 9X, an 8-channel radio I bought for one of my airplanes long ago. This is how the components are connected. Since a tank has 2 tracks, I use one motor for each track. That means 2 screwdrivers, 2 electric drills and 2 ESCs for each tank. The plus and minus cables of the drill motor goes to the plus and minus of the ESC. The ESC's signal cables run to the receiver. Since this is an airplane radio, the ESCs are hooked up to the throttle and the elevator channel. The power comes from a 3S LiPo battery. I use a Y cable to provide both the motors and the ESCs with power. This is how the electric drill looks on the inside. At the rear of the motor, a black and a red wire is connected to the trigger and the battery. These are the same wires I use when I connect the ESC to the motor. The motor is getting a 3D printed mount and a new axle for the belt wheel, but I will save those details for a future video with focus on the mechanics. Let's have a look at my current project, the 1 to 6 scale Stridsvagn 105 or Centurion, to see how everything is connected. Here is the drill motor. As you can see, the plastic cover of the drill has been replaced by a 3D printed motor mount. In the front, the planetary gearbox is still intact. At the end of the drill, a new axle has been mounted on the old threads. On it, a belt wheel is fixed with a belt to the drive shaft. The red and black cables connect the motor to the ESCs. Here are the electronics, the 2 speed controllers, the receiver, the battery, the Y cable, and the on and off switch for the ESCs. As you can see, the components have not found their place in the tank just yet. For the 105, I use a more powerful 18-volt electric drill. I am, however, currently running the tank on 12-volt. The same setup is used in my 1 to 6 scale Scimitar, with 2 12-volt electric drill motors in 3D printed mounts. The ESCs are securely tucked away in the back, and the battery cable is drawn through the wall to the battery in the storage bin, that also functions as a carry handle. So that was a short rundown of the electronics I use in my models. I know there are a lot of different and more advanced ways of doing this, but if you want to get going with your build, a cheap electric screwdriver, can get you a long way. I hope this video was of use to you. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.